Hi, I'm Perry from Future of Cleaning, and I want to talk with you about our innovation called the Arrow Lock. We introduced the Arrow Lock because carbon fiber and hybrid tubes, when you make them, are conical. So the top of the section is actually narrower than the bottom of the section, and what that means is that when you go to close a clamp, then it's going to be looser when the pole is compacted than it would be when the pole is extended. So what we introduced was a mechanical lock to support the friction grip of the actual clamp itself, so that it's impossible that if you've got a collapsed pole to be able to spin those sections. What we designed was an arrow, which you can see if you come in close, you can see is sitting out there, and it's matching. If I bring this down, you'll see here is the slot for it, and you'll see that behind that is solid. Now the reason we made that solid is because we're relying on this clamp to be able to grip the tube, and if we took that out and left it as hollow, then that would mean that we have a void there, so the clamp would only be clamping from there. It wouldn't be clamping this last piece here. And we'd also be leaving a vulnerable point for that if you tighten the clamp a lot, that maybe this would crack all the way up there, which is actually the seam in the mold. So we've left it solid, and we have the arrow that fits, and we thought that that was fine. But one of the other developments of the RHINO clamp is that we have this double action clamp that when it's half closed, it actually grips the sections. You can hear that. When it's fully open, the section moves really easily. So you can see just that small difference. What we've done, we actually changed the shape of the lever so it's really flat at the back, and that means that the clamp opens a lot. And what that means, which we didn't foresee, is that the tube section will drop much more easily than, especially with the reach it range with the polished and sanded tube sections, they drop much more easily than before. So what that resulted in was that people would, and if I'm going to simulate it now, that these sections would come down harder and harder and harder, and you'll see eventually they were cracking or bending and changing the shape of these arrows. So let's do that again with this one, and you can see me simulate it. You can see the clamp is coming down even though the arrow is there. We just didn't foresee somebody just dropping the pole like that. And so inevitably some of these, for some people, have bent, cracked, whatever. So what we've done now in answer to that, and this is just the test one on the number 4 clamp, and then we've proven it, but I just want to show you that we've taken action. We've listened, we've learned, but we had to think first. And what we've done, let me just see if I can give you a profile of the two. If you see this, you can see this is quite narrow. It's about 2 millimeters thick. Whereas if you look at this one at the base, it's about 4 millimeters thick and 2 millimeters thick at the top. So we haven't taken away the solid here because we deemed that that's necessary, but we've made the arrow itself more solid. So let's test that. If we take this and start, oh yeah, I'll put that down there, like that. Now that arrow is still strong enough now just to hold that out, and then it'll hold its place. So we have another innovation coming, which is also going to assist this process. But in the meantime, this is what we're going to do, is we're going to change the mold so that we have stronger arrows. And then any of you that have arrows that have bent or broken out of place and you don't have this benefit of the arrow lock, then we'll replace the clamp body for you when these new molds are running new clamps for you. Okay? So that's the arrow lock. It's being improved.